Hi everyone, and welcome to our session today. We're going to get started in just a couple minutes as we get people settled into this Zoom call. So again, my name is Aimee Lewin. I'm the director of the Student Engagement and Leadership Center here on campus, as well as the new Student Orientation Program. We're so excited that you're joining us today for this session. Today, we're going to talk about getting involved, jobs on campus. So taking the opportunities to work while you are on campus. So we have some panelists joining us today. They will introduce themselves. They come from a variety of different areas that all offer student employment opportunities.
Hey guys, my name is Jenny. I'm the Director of Residential Life, and I think I'm going to talk first, but just so you know, we're going to talk about some positions within residential life and within Rec and Wellness. Rec and Wellness and Residential Life are actually the two biggest employers on campus, so myself and Bambi can give you some great information about the abundance of jobs that we have. And then I think Aimee is going to talk to student engagement and leadership. So let's start with residential life. So we have two main positions for students. And the first one is our resident advisors. So this is not a work study position. You do not have to be work study eligible to be an RA. Our RAs are, I think they're one of the most important student leadership positions on campus. I think that it is just one of the greatest touch points to campus, to be a voice for the campus to the residents and for the residents to the campus. And so the way that this works is we actually hire very early. This is, if you're interested in being an RA, it's important to know early that you are. We do provide information sessions, usually around October of each year, and that would be for the next RA year. So we email all students that live in housing the information about applying to be an RA and what that process looks like. It can change year to year, but it does usually involve some type of application and an interview process. So of course, this year, we don't know exactly what that will look like, but we will be emailing that information out, and that happens in October. Then the RAs are selected, and they're usually a part of a leadership course. And then students come back early for that. So as an RA, you receive your housing for free, and you actually receive half of your meal plan. So it's really an incredible opportunity. We only have 61 RAs on campus, and we do tend to have between 200 and 300 applicants. This past year, we had 2/3 of our RAs reapply for the next year. So I hope that speaks to what a fun and awesome job it is. So the other position that we have are our desk assistants and desk managers. So in each residential community, there is a front desk, and that front desk is staffed about 19 hours of the day. So all the hours except for right there in the wee middle of the night, that's just a really hard time for students to work the desk. But outside of that, our RAs help staff that during the day. And then in the evening hours and early morning hours, we use desk assistants. So our desk managers help manage the desk assistants. So there's a desk manager for the building. So like for Botts Hall, there's a desk manager, and then there are around 30 desk assistants. We hire a total of between 70 and 80 desk assistants to work on campus. And this is a work study position. So it's important that you're work study eligible. And then it's also just important that the hours work well for you. So this is a really good job for students that are either night owls and really comfortable working at night, or for students that like to get up really early in the morning. We do have some shifts that start around 6 a.m. So for some students, that's like perfect for them. They get in their shift, they maybe get in a workout, and then they go to classes later. But usually the shifts during the day that are really convenient are worked by RA. So it is really important to think about your schedule and how you study as a student to make sure that it's going to work well for you to be a desk assistant. To apply to be a desk assistant, you can actually apply on Handshake, and the application is up now. I think that maybe Bambi is going to talk more about Handshake, but Handshake is, yes, okay, good. Handshake is what we use on campus for most all of our campus jobs. You can get on there, and our desk assistant position for this upcoming year is live on Handshake. So you can go ahead and apply. And later this week, actually, we are going to start reaching out to the students who have applied for interviews. So this is the perfect time to apply to be a desk assistant.
Awesome. Well, hello everyone. I'm going to move my camera over. But I am going to go back a couple slides because I did want to mention Handshake. I guess I should introduce myself. I'm Bambi Brundage. I'm the Director of Recreation and Wellness here on campus, and which is a large variety of opportunities for student employment, as well as lots of opportunities to stay active on our campus. But Handshake is something that we use. It is on your MyJU portal where you can go into Handshake, you use your JU login, and then you're able to see all the job opportunities on campus. And like Aimee had said, you know, we're talking about residence life, recreation and wellness, and student engagement and leadership, but there are other opportunities on campus. You know, one being that I know pretty well is IT hires some students. Marine science hires some students, and athletics hires students. So those are other opportunities that you can have outside of this is a student affair centered talk. And so we wanted to make sure that we walked through that, but there are other options to do that. Obviously, I said that we're recreation and wellness. It is work study eligible. So we have federal work study and university work study. Very, very flexible hours. Like Jenny had said, we also open super early. For example, in the fitness center, we start at 5:30 a.m. for our student workers, and we're open till 10:30. If you can get the gym shut down in time, you get to leave by 10:30. And then the average hours that each student employee works is around 10 to 15, and the max hours is 20. I think the 10 to 15 range, it's kind of up to you and your schedule. We really try to be flexible. There's other ways that you can pick up shifts if you want more. So if a student, one of your friends says, oh, I can't work, and you want to grab 3 more hours, we use a software system that you're able to see that. You're able to get notifications, and it's kind of like first come, first serve. So you have the opportunity to be like, if something comes open and you want those 3 hours, you can click on it and accept it. Which is really cool, and the students really like the software to use. So we have the Davis Student Commons, which is, if some of you are familiar with student unions on campus, this is a little bit similar to that. It houses our fitness center and our Buccaneer Room, which is our new gaming esports lounge. And we have 3 positions that you can have in this building. So student supervisors, student assistants, and fitness instructors. It's going to look a little bit different this fall, as our fitness instructors will be doing most of the classes outside under our amphitheater. But we are excited. I think we're also going to add some virtual fitness classes as well. One being a meditation class, which I'm super excited to introduce. But if you have any idea or want to do an instruction class, or have obviously you can see the yoga, cycling, boot camp, dance, cardio, Zumba. There's a class that you are certified for, you're more than welcome to reach out to me, and we will try to get it done. And no matter what it is, obviously, I think we did have someone want to do unicycling, but we didn't have any unicycles, so that was kind of off limits. But it just whatever you guys are thinking about, I'm all ears, and I want to make sure that if you want to teach a class, that we'll get you involved. The River House on campus is an event space that we use. It also houses the pub. We have student supervisors and student assistants that work in that area, and they basically just help with setting up events, and they get to study a lot. So if you really want to do work study, you get a lot of time to study in those jobs. They're probably some of the most coveted jobs on campus because you do get to study 3 or 4 hours, and maybe we won't have an event, so you're able just to sit in the office and study. And it's a really cool space. It's obviously on the river, which makes it even more beautiful as you're on campus. We also have intramurals. My assistant, Alex Kossoff, oversees the intramural side of things. We have officials, and then you can see the sports that we do normally offer. The one thing about the intramural officials, there are two things that you have to do to be considered as an official. Obviously you need to apply, I guess, so 3 things, but we actually have info sessions and then court field clinic like practices that we teach you. If say you don't know anything about flag football, but that's something that you want to officiate, we are more than welcome. You come to the info session, you come to the clinic, and we teach you the rules. So it's really for anyone and everyone who wants to learn a sport, or maybe just wants to be active in a way that they get paid for, right? So if you're, that's kind of the best way to think about it in my mind. So those are the recreation and wellness sessions or places that you can get. The last one, I think that this is the last one, is lifeguards. So we do have a very large pool on campus, but you do have to be American Red Cross lifeguard certification and CPR certified to be a lifeguard. I am looking for lifeguards all the time. So if you have your lifeguard certification and you want to make some money on campus and be in the beautiful Florida sun, I would love to hire you today. So that's one that normally I have all my positions filled, but the lifeguard position is something that I'm always looking for more. And the one thing about the lifeguard certification, we do accept a couple others. So if it's not American Red Cross, please just reach out to me and we will look into that and see if we can get you certified in both just by your certification.
Awesome. So back to me, student engagement and leadership. Our office hires a variety of different student leaders on campus. The 2 primarily I'm going to talk about today are our Dolphin Productions Programming Board and our Student Government Association Executive Board. Right now, both of these organizations have filled positions, but I at least want to put them on your radar so that way you can understand what opportunities could exist while you're here at JU. And then I'm also want to just highlight being an orientation leader. If you want to stay in Jacksonville and stay on campus during the summer, this is a great opportunity to kind of get ahead, do some summer classes, and work with new students just like yourself. A lot of our orientation leaders had such a great experience at orientation and have a variety of different experiences across campus. So that's another position that you can apply for, and we start applying for those in January. So the first I'm going to talk about is Dolphin Productions. Dolphin Productions is our programming board, and they are responsible for creating and putting together our large programming as well as some of our smaller programming events. Some of our typical events are homecoming, the drag show, bingo, trivia, Porter Fest, which if you were here in our traditions presentation this morning, they talked a little bit about Porter Fest and the pancake breakfast, which are loved traditions here at JU. So if you want to learn more about planning events, if you have some great ideas about events that you want to see on campus, getting involved in Dolphin Productions is a great way to do that. So we have some specific positions that are filled for this year, but that doesn't mean you can't get involved in Dolphin Productions. There's a great opportunity for you to volunteer, get some experience so that you can then apply for them in the spring for the following year. So a lot of great opportunities to select the concerts that we might bring to campus, or test your trivia knowledge by creating the trivia questions. Those are all different options for you to get involved. And then student government. Student government is our voice of the student body. They have access to a lot of really high up people here at JU and get to engage with a lot of our leadership. So if you are interested in making a difference and leaving a legacy at JU, this is a great way to do that. So getting involved in student government, our top positions are paid positions, and then the rest of the cabinet is appointed by the president and the vice president. They will run for those positions in the spring. But doesn't mean you still can't get involved in SGA now. So we are always looking for senators for you to serve for a variety of different areas across campus. We will have information sessions throughout the rest of the summer virtually. So check out Instagram for information regarding what it means to be a senator. in SGA. So these are some great opportunities and resources for you. So questions. So go ahead and throw us some questions in the chat. There's already a couple that have come up so far, and I will kind of launch those off to our panelists or answer some myself. The first question that came up is, how do I know if I'm work study eligible? So you're going to want to go to your MyJU account and check your financial aid package. It will be listed as federal work study to let you know whether or not you're eligible for that. If you don't see it and have questions about it, go ahead and reach out to your financial aid counselor, and they'll be able to kind of walk you through that process to help you understand what you might be eligible for. Bambi kind of touched on, we also have university study. Those are jobs that you don't have to be federal work study eligible for, and those are paid out through university department's budget. So you don't necessarily have to worry about the what pocket does it come from, that kind of thing. You just have to know whether or not you have federal work study, and then apply for those jobs, or anyone can apply for university study jobs. And those are all listed in Handshake. So again, I would highly recommend going to check out Handshake. So there have been some questions about, can first-year students get a job on campus? So I think Jenny and Bambi can definitely talk about this.
Yeah, I can answer a few of these questions and then ask Bambi for help. Freshmen can absolutely get jobs on campus. You can apply right now on Handshake for most of these positions that are open. Handshake is the best place, other than like RA. We usually don't put that on Handshake, but we do send out the process. You can work more than one federal work study job. I know sometimes we limit our desk assistant hours, and so a lot of them have other jobs. You just have to be really mindful of the amount of hours that you've been allocated within your federal work study. So each of that chunk of hours is allocated per semester. And so students can run out of those hours, which is really inconvenient for you if you are trying to budget and plan out. You want to make sure you don't run out of your hours early, because once you've run out of your hours, you'll have to stop working. So if you've started to depend on that job and the income from that position, and then you run out and you have, 3 weeks left of school, then that means you're not going to get paid for those next 3 weeks. So we just kind of try to all work together on that. Bambi, somebody asked how to get the position in the gym. Is that on Handshake?
Yes, we normally put our Handshake applications out probably in October. I think that is the time that we do hire first years. Probably mostly not, unless you talk to me in the summer. We already have our fall right now hired, but we will, some students graduate. So we are always looking for people working in the spring. We also do offer summer working jobs as well in the gym and the River House. So I want to let you guys know that. It's something that's really cool. We only hire about 10 or 15 students, but they're here all summer. They get free housing, and then we have them buy a meal plan, which is, and that includes lifeguards as well. So we try to keep the pool open during that time. But yes, if you're a first year, you're more than welcome to here. My other advice would be, or recommendation is, Handshake is awesome, but obviously one of the things that we want to teach you is how to get a job, right? I am always okay if you swing by my office on the 3rd floor of the Commons and come say hello and ask me, I want a job, then we'll have a conversation. And those, I believe Aja, who is on here and an orientation leader, she did that very same thing. She walked into my office and said, "Hey, Bambi, I want a job." I'm like, "Let's talk about it." So those are things that I want all of you to learn. And obviously, being a new student at JU, we want to meet you. Obviously, I see some of your faces, but we want to meet you, and we're going to help guide you through that process to find the job that fits you here on campus. And even if it's not one of my jobs or Jenny's jobs or Aimie's job, there could be something on campus that fits you better, and we'll try to find that for you.
Awesome. There was a question about looking for lifeguards in the fall. Should they email you now or wait till they move in?
No, you can email me now.
Awesome. Thank you for that. There was some questions about the max amount of hours you can work and things like that. So Jenny talked about the bucket of hours that you have. That's for the semester. but you can work up to a max of 20 hours per week as a student worker. So again, there's that 20-hour work limit per week, but you don't want to use all 20 of those hours. If you only have 90, you're going to be done in 3 weeks. So you just want to be mindful of what that's going to look like. So there's a question about pay. Most positions on campus are minimum wage, which I think right now is $8.56. So most jobs on campus follow that line.
We have, I'll step in too for our student supervisors and our lifeguards. They make $1 more. And so because they have more responsibility. So if you're a student supervisor in the fitness center, which is the gym, or the river house, and a lifeguard, we do pay you $1 more.
Awesome, thanks. There's another question just to clarify. You can check to see if you qualify for federal work study through your MyJU portal. Check your financial aid package. If you don't see it, contact your financial aid counselor. If you saw it and then don't see it, chat with your financial aid counselor. They're going to be your best resource to let you know what options are there. Checking through the chat real quick to see if there's any more questions. If we talked about the Marine Science Center, that may have jobs, IT has jobs. If you don't see it on Handshake, I would totally recommend what Bambi just talked about. Reach out to those different areas. Say, looking for a job on campus. How do I get involved? How can I get involved in your area? We'll make sure we put all of our contact information in the chat for you, so you can reach out directly to myself, Jenny, or Bambi. Question about how do we work if we have the aid. If you have the aid, just look on Handshake. There's usually a code that says FWS, which shows that it is a federal work study job, and you are able to apply for those jobs and earn that federal work study money. What does working in the river house look like? Bambi, throw that to you.
So working in the river house, Aja raised her hand because she's one of my supervisors at the river house. The river house is basically like this. You come into work, you check the calendar. If there's an event, it will have a map that's a setup. So whether it's, for example, if it's a lunch for financial aid staff, it'll be, all right, you're going to set up 7 round tables with 40 chairs. And you do that, and there'll always be 2 people on, your student supervisor and your student assistant, and you are just required to make the map or make the event space look like the map, and then you're done. Occasionally you get really good meals if they share them with the students. You can ask Aja. Like I believe Aja also got to be at a really cool lunch last summer, which was really cool, and she got to kind of see some really cool things that happened at the river house, which is a perk of being there. You kind of get to be around different levels of people, the president, and it just gives you an opportunity to learn how to work an event and have really good customer service skills is the other thing that we require. So
that's awesome, thanks. I saw lots of questions about being a tour guide. I would recommend reaching out directly to admissions regarding that process. They will either post it on Handshake or an email will go out to the general campus community. So great habit of checking your JU email often to make sure that you're getting all of those updates of jobs or positions that are available but not on Handshake. The question about if we don't work, will aid be removed? So federal work study is unique in that it's not necessarily put directly into your account. You have to work for it. And that gets paid out in paychecks directly to you that you can decide what you do with those funds. So it will be on your aid award, but it doesn't go towards your tuition dollars. That is, you decide whether or not you want to work or not. If you work, you earn that money as a paycheck. If you don't work, then you never get that money and it's not going to your tuition in the first place. So again, it's up to you whether or not you use it. It's kind of you use it or you lose it. So would highly recommend taking advantage of those opportunities to earn that paycheck while you're here. And something that's so convenient about working on campus is that it takes you 5-10 minutes to get anywhere. You don't have to drive off campus to an employer. We're also supervisors that work on campus and understand what it means to be a student, so we can offer some more flexibility than maybe external employers. So it's always a great opportunity to work while on campus. And I know I've hired students in my office, and Bambi and Jenny can probably say the same. We don't need you to work an 8-hour shift, right? You can come in for an hour or two in between a chunk of classes that you have to get some of those hours. So there's definitely a lot of flexibility that's available. The Career Center manages Handshake, so getting in contact with the Career Resource Center for some of those Handshake positions is helpful. We posted a link in the chat of details on how to access Handshake, so I'd highly recommend looking at that. Question about FWS. It is not, if it's listed as $1,000 per semester, you have to work up to that $1,000. So you don't just get a paycheck for $1,000, you work for that $1,000 as many hours as you put in, if that makes sense. So $8.56 at a time. So I think we've gotten most of the questions. If for any reason there is a question that hasn't been answered, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I type my email address into the chat. Bambi and Jenny, can I ask you to do the same? And then you can go ahead and copy those down and reach out to us if you have any questions. Thank you everyone for joining in this session. Some great conversation today about opportunities to work on campus. Again, highly recommended by all three of these areas, and we hire some of the most students on campus. So again, check out Handshake. It's never too early to start looking or reaching out for positions. So go ahead and get started, and we can't wait to welcome you on campus this fall. Thank you everyone for joining us today.
Have a great day.